10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1,
Manchester United have
0.
reached the promised land.
Good morning, everybody. Sorry, a comment caught me off guard just before I went live there. How are we all doing? Sam here. It's Monday. We're live. We're here to talk about all the latest United news. It was this comment there that caught me off guard. Cordell saying, Sam said yesterday, it's the last we speak of Ronaldo, but here we go again. It's the last we speak of the Ronaldo situation in terms of what's happened. It's not the last time, Cordell, that we will be speaking about Ronaldo going forward, replacing Ronaldo leaving the club, Manchester United moving forward without Ronaldo. I mean, let's not ignore what's coming forward. I said that it's the last time I want to speak about what's happened because I'm bored of that. But look, I'm not bored of Manchester United's last gasp winner. Look, you can't beat a goal that matters when it comes to a late winner or a late equalizer, dramatic goals, late goals. It is the best thing in football. And I enjoyed that at the weekend. Didn't enjoy McTominay's clumsy move. But we'll speak about the game. We'll speak about McTominay's mistake. We'll speak about everything else that happened and the reaction to it. I'll run through that with you this morning. We'll speak about the article from The Athletic this morning, speaking about replacing Ronaldo in January. Or maybe not replacing Ronaldo in January. That's the conversation we'll have down there. We'll speak about Van der Sar. He's been interviewed and asked about joining Manchester United. We'll speak about everything else in between. And I will turn my phone on silent. Where is that? Silent mode on. Bingo, banger. Who's down here in the comments? Have a look. Ruben, good morning to you. Giles, we've got Michael Parsons, Rotham, Asan, I can see you there. Vicky, good morning to you. Eadsy, Klein, Daisy, Ant, I can see you there. Josh, Stephen, loving top. Big up to you, my friend. Shegsy, watching from Nigeria. And Darren, who's on Facebook? We've got, that's the best name ever. Thank God, Sam, indeed. We've got Odam. Good morning to you. We've got Kieran Traynor. We've got, hey, there's lots of you down here. Gungshi. Can't miss the general himself, El Presidente. But look, I loved that moment. That was brilliant. Casemiro, I think we spoke about it on the podcast, actually, last week. I said, I know we're speaking about Casemiro as the defensive midfielder that he is, and he is, well, muy bueno. But I think we're kind of sleeping on him going forward. I think Casemiro offers something, and that was an absolute scorcher of a header. Not scorcher as in like a fizzing, unstoppable shot, but just the determination to get there. The actual, man, that was just a great goal. And it was the reaction to it as well, man. Look at Casemiro there. I'm sure you've seen the video of him celebrating. It's honestly one of the most fantastic celebrations I've seen from a United goal from the players in a long time. Casemiro there. Where's the little arrow? There's four photos. There's all 4 photos. What's going on? Why won't you let me? Oh, God. No, thank you very much to it. There we go. Right. Just these photos there, the Casemiro there, everyone joining in, Anthony screaming, everyone's screaming, everyone's face. It was beautiful. It really, really was. And I said this yesterday. I'm not going to play this video because I'm definitely going to get slapped for copyright. But I'll drag you through the video. That's a bit different, isn't it? Mate, it's just, it was great. And you know what I said after the game? I said this. One second, let me get a good spot to stop it there. Look. I said this. I said that I've not really sort of felt this connection with a set of United players, honestly, in a long, long time. Now, I remember saying something quite similar when Solskjaer was manager. And I felt like a likability towards these players when I think it was maybe it was in like 2019-20. You know, when Martial, Rashford and Voldemort were banging in goals. And yeah, I felt connected to this United team in a way that I hadn't been before. But this connection it's for me on a different level completely. I genuinely, and I said it there, I genuinely feel like these players, they're all ready to scrap. And they might actually win the scrap. It's all good and well being worried, but they're not all scrappy dudes. Just there trying to bite at someone's heels. This United team has got some metal about them. They really, really do. Stephen, you're down there saying, look, Martinez made a new friend. You wait till I tell you what I've got to tell you about that. But it's different, right? We haven't seen that from United for a long, long time. And it's, oh, look at the standards that have fallen, celebrating the last minute equaliser. It's like, fuck off, man. It is Stamford Bridge. It is the 94th minute. And United have got a goal which turned a defeat into a draw. You're damn right I'm celebrating that. Like anybody would celebrate that. Imagine trying to sort of I don't know, take something away from that moment. Sam Chiang, I think they've gone a little bit silent. I'll be completely honest. Ever so slightly silent. And it's Casemiro, another perfect example, a bit like Jamie Carragher, who I will continue to call out for his ridiculous comments on Lisandro Martinez. People wanted to write. It's just the way it goes. People are so quick to get to like the end of an assumption. Within the space of like 45 minutes, they're so confident to say, nah, Casemiro shit, let's sell him, let's move on. It's like, you are outrageous. But that's just the way it goes these days. People are so quick to make an assumption. They find it impossible to do something called sitting back, letting a bit of evidence accumulate in front of you over the space of 4, 6, 7, 8 weeks, maybe, and then start to make a fair assumption. And Casemiro is the perfect example of that. Ned Lowe, you're down there saying he's starting to play like a captain. I mean, honestly, we've gone from a team where I struggle to point at any individual saying that they could captain Manchester United to a team where I can genuinely say, you could be captain. You could probably be captain. You've got potential to be captain. And so have you over there. And it's made a big difference. It has made a difference to how this United team is playing and how they're looking. Carlton Cole, you've been drinking at Monday morning at 9:40 and you're drunk in the comments. You can't be doing that. Frankie de Jong and Cody Gakpo in January. That's not going to happen. Mushtaik, let me know where you're watching from. Actually, no, I've seen your name before. I definitely have. You have to talk about Martinez and that diving header on Sterling. Wish that was superb. Don't worry about that. I will be speaking about that just a little bit further down the line. But Mushtaik, exactly. Passion the team has shown. And Amy, this is an excellent comment here. And this is the next point I was going to speak about. Ten Hag deserves more credit and respect from our quote-unquote legends. 1 point from the top 4, 3 points from the top 3, no designated striker, and 4 games in 10 days. We are doing much better than anybody thought we would be. And that really is the case because, look, I'm doing a video that's going out at lunchtime today, and I'm looking forward to it. And honestly, I think you should watch it. Obviously. Well, what else are you going to be doing at lunchtime today apart from eating lunch? I'm going to do it. It's like, this is Ten Hag's United. It's like this new... I've been covering the process from step by step, from the beginning of the preseason through to now. And in these last 10 days, we've seen something new. And I think Casemiro has played a big, big part of that. Really, really big, big part of that. Vicky, I know you'll be devastated about the Varane injury, but we'll speak about Varane a little bit later in the show. But yeah, look at this. This is what happened at the weekend. Liverpool, they lost to Nottingham Forest. Spurs, mate. Spurs looked so bang average against Newcastle. So bang average. Unbelievable. Arsenal dropping points. Arsenal hopefully showing the old Arsenal that we all know love. And we got a point at Stamford Bridge. I said it's a decent weekend of results and a very decent week when you add in the fact that we beat Spurs 2-0. Go over here. Andy Mitten making an excellent point here. So far this season, so Manchester United have played 11 games in the Premier League. And 9 of those games have been the top 11 teams in the Premier League. We've only had 2 games out of the bottom 9 teams. And if we take a look at here, look, we've beaten Arsenal. We obviously got spanked by City. Like most teams will get spanked by City this season. We've beaten Spurs. We drew against Newcastle. We drew against Chelsea. And we beat Liverpool. That really is an incredible run of results. It really, really is. And I think for me, it's more impressive than I expected. You can let me know what you think in the comments. Yeah, Daisy making a good point there. Of course, that some of them have got game in hand. Not everybody's got a game in hand on us. We've got Newcastle and Spurs have got a game in hand on us. And Fulham. And the rest have all played the same amount as us. But I expected Ten Hag to... I expected progress. Absolutely, I expected progress. It was the mantra of the way I was gonna assess this season was the concept of progress. Do I think by the end of the year, that Manchester United are a better footballing team on the pitch in terms of the coaching and how they're playing X, Y, Z? And 11 games in, we've beaten Liverpool comfortably. Spurs dominated them. Arsenal, I say that was pretty comfortable as well. Yeah, we got spanked by City, but that's not. I don't think that's the measure of where Manchester United are at the moment. It's the measure of where Manchester United want to get towards. But Ten Hag, he's doing a very, very impressive job, and in extremely difficult circumstances. Given how quickly the games are coming, and given what's happening with Ronaldo, and the fact that he hasn't had a striker really all season. We've done all of this without a striker that he can confidently rely on to bang in the goals. You would imagine at some point it's really going to hurt us this season. I think it already has hurt us. I think we should have beaten Newcastle, and we would have beaten Newcastle if we had a better striker. I think you could say the same thing about Chelsea yesterday, but we did dip off in the second half, and they did come back in. I think it's been a very, very impressive start to the season. There's far more that's needed. We need that clinical edge. We absolutely need to find that clinical edge. Yeah, look, Machiavelli is a good point there, saying away to Everton and Southampton is not easy either. I mean, just ask Arsenal. It's been a really good start. Carl's saying we need to start winning. We're moving. We don't focus on the position of Manchester United in this table. Just focus on how we are playing. We went there to Stamford Bridge and we controlled that first 45 minutes so easily. And again, if we had that clinical striker, we would have caused damage. It would have been devastating. The game may have been done before Graham Potter made those changes to add Kovacic into midfield. But we didn't. And Rashford's still not finding the corners. Martial's still injured. And Ronaldo, not in the squad. So we're doing all this without a striker. And again, that makes it even more impressive. Honest opinion, says Jordan. Who do people think we will be in December? Or where? Sorry, where do people think we'll be in December? And who do people think we should sign in, if any, in January? It's a good two open-ended questions there. In terms of where we'll be, I mean, right now, Man United are 8 points off top. Now, you might say that's a huge gap, but we're 5 points behind City after 11 games played. We've one win there, and we could leapfrog. We could go into third, depending on results in between us. Newcastle are probably doing better than I think anybody expected Eddie Howe's Newcastle's do at this point in time. But it really has, in my opinion, been an impressive start to the season. I'm going to go down here and read a few of your comments out here and see what you're thinking. Gakpo in January and summer, you were going for Osimhen. Klein, you reckon we're going to go to third. Ten Hag owns that sweet turtle. I've got a turtleneck in there, but I'm too scared to put it on. I'm not too scared. I haven't put it on yet. What did it? Denver, yes. We're going to do it anyway. Not make it anyway, but same thing. Before you see progress, you have to cooperate with all your player. Cooperate with all your player, presumably. I don't know what you mean there. Stephen, you're talking about Tony down there. I mean, I've spoken about Tony quite a lot of detail. And I will trust me. I'm not leading with the main story about Ronaldo and replacing Ronaldo because it's like I did the other day. It's like I can't be asked to talk about the top of the story. I want to talk about United's really damn good football. And it wasn't perfect against Chelsea. Far from it. I mean, we got a draw. So it definitely wasn't perfect. Something that Ten Hag has been doing all season, and something that I know and you agree with, presumably, the best managers in world football have the ability to change the game during the game. Substitutions, tactical decisions. And Ten Hag did it again against Chelsea. There's a nice little snippet here from Laurie Whitwell. He's saying, after Jorginho converted from 12 yards to put Chelsea 1-0 up, Ten Hag called Bruno to the touchline. He put one hand on the player's shoulder with the other gesticulated from right to left, defence to attack. The conversation lasted 6 seconds, and at the end of it, Fernandes ran to Luke Shaw and Diogo Dalot to convey the instructions. Ten Hag, it appeared, clear, wanted his fullbacks to get forward and wide to deliver balls into the box. And we know exactly what happened straight after that. Luke Shaw got wide, delivered a ball into the box, Casemiro leaped like a frisky salmon. And it got the equaliser. 1-1. And it made a difference. And I think Ten Hag's been doing this pretty much consistently all season long. When it comes to substitutes, I don't think there's any club in the Premier League whose substitutes have scored more goals than Manchester United from the bench this year. I think that's correct. I don't know. I can't say that as a complete statement, but I saw that a while ago, and I believe it was right. It's like Martial coming off the bench and scoring 2 against City, or Ronaldo coming off the bench and scoring against Everton. There's United subs have definitely been doing a damn thing. Anti down there saying it wasn't. I wouldn't call that a thunder bastard header. It was more delicate than that. It was a thunder bastard leap, but it was just, mate. I love Martinez. I really, really do. And I'm speaking about Martinez next. But I just can't get my head around the fact that we've got Casemiro. And from that reaction, those are the sorts of reactions that you can't, no paycheck is going to get that reaction. There has to be something almost feral inside you to bring that sort of reaction out. It was, it was a real show. All of them, man. It wasn't just that from Casemiro. It was every single one of these players, from Casemiro there. Let's have a look down here. From Anthony. Anthony went absolutely bonkers, didn't he? Shouting and screaming in Jorginho's face. Everybody. Anthony jumping up there. Luke Shaw going a bit mad. Diogo Dalot coming in, grabbing everybody. It was a bit balmy. And I liked it. I loved it. That's passion for the game down there. It was a 3-pointer basketball shot. That's exactly. It felt like a fadeaway. It looked like the gooseneck. Just like, whoop, can't stop it. I thought Kepa should have kind of saved it, really. But maybe it was just behind him. But yeah, I'll be honest. I loved it. I absolutely loved the fact that we came, because I thought the game was dead and buried at that point. I really, really did. And someone else who I do like, there's a lot of love going around this morning in the comments. Why not? A lot of love. And there's a lot of love for this man. One comment here, one super chat here. I don't want to ignore super chat, so I'll read this out. KMD, what you saying? Off topic, but I'm sick to death of these United pundits defending their mates and reminiscing. Not in the best interest of the club at all. Disappointed. I'm going to be speaking about it a little bit later in the show, but I was a bit gobsmacked. I'll be completely honest. I was quite gobsmacked how far down the rabbit hole Roy Keane went. How deep he was willing to dig himself in to defend Cristiano Ronaldo. I've found it a little bit odd. I did, and I'll speak about it later in the show. And it's not right. He's completely and utterly wrong in what he's saying. I called him out in the video yesterday. I think the majority of you agree with me. But this man, right? My caption on Twitter was, I said, Lich's pockets are overflowing. Salah there. Oh, there's Gabriel Jesus on the floor with the ball in his head. Oh, yeah, that's Son. I mean, you could have a picture of Kane there as well. Oh, yeah, that's Raheem Sterling getting absolutely leveled by the man himself. But I'm loving this dude, man. It's a different sort of energy. It's a different sort of energy inside this United team that we just, as I said, we just haven't seen for so long. And something beautiful that happened was this. Martinez, after the game, jumped into the crowd. There was a United fan there. He just ended up getting a hug with him. His name was Sammy. And I'll tell you what, little exclusive here. I've got in touch with Sammy. And he's agreed to come on the podcast this week. So hopefully, as long as it all works out, I'm going to be having a conversation with that lad there, Sammy. Let me pull this up here. Going to be bringing him onto the podcast this week to have a conversation with him. See what the moment was like, see what it was like down in the away end. But I thought that would be a class thing to do. So I reached out to him and he's up for it. So that would be cool. So hopefully that will be in the podcast this week. But yeah, man, just as I said, you can look at Lisandro Martinez, you can look at Casemiro, you can look at Anthony. Erik ten Hag's signings they've all played a role in changing and shaping and molding this new energy that seems to be flowing through this United team. And it's starting to be a bit infectious, I think. That celebration certainly was infectious. It got all of us on board. It got all the other players on board as well. I'm enjoying what I'm seeing, man. I'm enjoying what I'm seeing. Jibak, how you doing, buddy? Saying Roy came from a personal angle. His legacy at United ended when him started to fade and being shipped out. And I do think that's actually a kind of a fair point. Where is it? I was going to mention it. That one there? It was that one there. Let's speak about it now then. I have thought about this myself, if I'm being completely honest. Roy Keane, when he left the club, I mean, if you don't know the story about Roy Keane leaving the club, it wasn't pretty. It really wasn't. He fell out with Fergie quite spectacularly, shipped off pretty unceremoniously, and the relationship between Fergie and Keane has never, ever been repaired. Keane's made it clear that he wouldn't come back to Manchester United to work at Manchester United at this moment in time. And Keane, I disagree with what Keane said, but opinions are opinions. You can have your opinion. But Keane just completely undermined himself entirely and made himself look like a fool when he was effectively refusing to compliment Erik ten Hag and refusing to compliment the progress that's been made. Instead, he was like, no, Spurs were terrible. I'm not going to compliment that United team, despite the fact that we were so dominant against Spurs. And I think that's what made Keane look stupid, right? That's what made Keane look stupid. And I'll be honest, I think he looked stupid because he was... I'm so glad that the cat is out of the bag now with Ronaldo. I really am. Because I've had to defend myself against so many people over the last couple of months. And I think an unwarranted defense. Because I want categorically what is best for Manchester United as a football club. It doesn't matter who the individual is. McTominay, Maguire, Ronaldo, Martial. Does not matter. The only thing that I care about is what's best for my club, what's best for Erik ten Hag, and what's best to take us forward. Cristiano Ronaldo coming back to Manchester United was never, ever, ever, ever the best thing for Manchester United. We all said it and knew it at the time, but you got swept up in the emotion and the sentiment of it all. Ronaldo coming back to the club was an opportunistic move by United, never part of any long-term plan or any long-term strategy. It was like, wake up in the morning, we can get him in. And that's what happened. We stopped him going to City. He came back. It was amazing. And we all, the little kids inside us, well, you know, when Van Persie said, oh yeah, the little kid inside me just was screaming for United. That's what happened to all of us when Ronaldo came back to the club. But when you take away the emotion and the sentiment, you can just openly say that United signing Ronaldo was never part of a long-term strategy. Ole Gunnar Solskjaer didn't really know what to do with him. He scored goals left, right, and centre, but as a team collective, I think we faded a little bit. And it's been a struggle ever since. He is a great goal scorer. That's why he scored goals last year. 24 of them, I think. But I'm going to be very happy once Ronaldo leaves and once we move forward properly as a club with a striker that we've purchased for a specific reason and profile to take us forward and to start stepping into the future. Ronaldo is not part of the long-term future. Ronaldo's 37, going on 38. Whether or not he leaves in January, that's a different conversation. KMD, you're saying, look, Keane got booted out and he's still bitter about it. He undermines ten Hag, the team, and the fans to stick up for Ronaldo. I don't know if it's as simple as just that, but I would say that I reckon that's like, maybe Keane doesn't even realise it himself, sort of thing. I think it's sort of part of him and how he approaches United and sort of speaks about United. But yeah, I really didn't like what Keane said. I've said everything I wanted to say on the Keane situation. If you haven't seen it already, let me get the link for you here. I'll drop it in the comments. Yeah, I ran through his whole interview, both of them, on Sky Sports before and after the game, and I gave my opinion on them. So if you haven't watched it already, here it is down there in the comments. Let me read a couple of your questions out down here. Giles, you're going as far as saying Ronaldo should retire after the World Cup. Hey, let's see what Ronaldo is going to do at the World Cup first before we start making stuff like that. DK, you're saying I never wanted him back in the first place. Look, it would have been smarter for Manchester United if we didn't bring him back to the club. And that's not captain hindsight. That really genuinely is not captain hindsight. We all felt it at the time. I remember doing the video. Ronaldo was about to join City. I remember doing the video. Out of nowhere, United decided to pull the trigger and stop that from happening. It's like the Alexis Sanchez situation, but a little bit closer to home. And that I think that's a perfect way to describe it down there, DK. It was a nostalgia signing. Ronaldo was never ever part of any, and that's the big thing I'm going to keep reiterating here. Was never part of a long-term strategy at the club. But moving forward now, right? I try not to dwell in the past too much because I think that's what United have done as a football club for so many years. It's been part of our problem. But if we're going to start looking forward, what happens with Ronaldo next? Because it still is going to be the big question that looms large over Manchester United, over Erik ten Hag until it is resolved. This is what The Athletic has said about Ronaldo this morning, and you can see down there from the headline. But let's talk about reintegrating Ronaldo back into the team first. He said, look, Ronaldo's reintegration back into United team is set to be decided once talks have taken place with Ten Hag. Training with the squad will have to wait because United have been given Monday off. Let's scroll down here. Ten Hag is adamant he wants Ronaldo as an option for the rest of the season, but first wants to hear what the Portuguese thinks about the situation and whether he can countenance not being a starter every week. Should Ronaldo accept flexibility over his selection and express contrition, it's expected he will rejoin first team training. If he rejects a reduced role and presses to leave again, then Ten Hag would allow him to once more explore finding a new club. So the question I want to ask you, first of all, down there in the comments, type yes or no in. What would you expect the consequence of that conversation between Erik ten Hag and Cristiano Ronaldo to be? If Ten Hag goes to Ronaldo and says, look, man, you're the greatest goal scorer of all time. Of course I want you in my squad, but you won't be starting every week. You're going to have to settle for a place on that bench. And when I need you, I want to be able to call on you to come on and bang a goal or two in. Are you happy with that? Yes or no? Do you think Ronaldo will accept that role? Say yes or say no. Because if he says no, then we've seen the last of Cristiano Ronaldo in a Manchester United shirt. And that's the truth. I think so anyway. If he says yes, I mean, in the short term, saying yes would absolutely suit him because, oh, that was strange. In the short term, it would absolutely suit him because Ronaldo's got the World Cup coming up. He needs game time. But do you think he will accept that role? Let's go down here and see what you're saying in the comments. Rob, you don't think he will? Rangi, you think so? I'm going to say down here. Troy, you're saying yes. I'm going to go for like a... Sorry, my camera's playing up for no reason whatsoever. I apologize if the camera pulls out, I don't know. It's just started doing some weird stuff. I apologize about this. I hope I don't have to wrap up the stream because that'll be really annoying. But it seems like it's going a little bit fruity this morning. His ego won't allow it. The majority of you down here in the comments are all saying no. I have to agree with you because Ronaldo's been extremely unprofessional at this point, right? To reject manager's call to come off the bench is ridiculous. And from a player who's so experienced as Ronaldo. And it was his ego that did that. So he has to push this ego to the side. He has to. Ross saying the Glazers FBI found me. They've infiltrated the camera finally. This is the end of United People's TV as we know it. This, I think, is the scarier part about the Ronaldo conversation and the Ronaldo story. I don't know what's going on here. It's now put me in black and white. I'm sorry about this. I'll have to unplug, rejig, restart, sort this camera out. But maybe this is Ronaldo getting into my camera. It's not Ronaldo getting into the camera. But I think the scarier conversation is this. If Ronaldo leaves, which he should be leaving. We turn a fan on. It's hot as hell in here. Woo. If Ronaldo leaves, what do United do in January? Well, according to The Athletic, not much. In the summer, United wanted a fee, but now it is thought the club would allow a free transfer subject to Ronaldo's contract being mutually terminated. That would remove the club's highest earner from the wage bill, and Ronaldo would have the license to sort his next move, albeit inevitably on vastly reduced terms. Now, this is the thing here. Whether the 37-year-old would sacrifice the remaining 6 months of his United salary is a significant question, however. An alternative could be that United could come to an agreement with him over his owed wage, negotiating a one-off sum worth less than the overall contracted commitment. But after overspending in the summer, United have scant room for maneuver financially and would not pay up for Ronaldo so he can sign elsewhere. Which leads me on to the next question. Cristiano Ronaldo had one offer during the summer, one big offer. That was from the Saudi club, and it was a ridiculous amount of money. But he said no, he stayed at Manchester United. So it shows that for him, money wasn't the driver for what he wanted at this point in his career. It's competing in the highest competitions. So my question to you now is this. I think it's abundantly obvious that Manchester United will not just pay off Ronaldo. So Ronaldo's on 500 grand a week, there or thereabouts. Let's call it 500 grand just because it's nice and easy. 6 months left on his contract. I think what was it? November, December, January, February, March, April. That's about right. 6 months left on his contract. So that's £3 million. Do you think Ronaldo would just mutually terminate that contract so he can leave for free in January? Type yes or no in the comments. Because if Ronaldo's willing to turn down probably must have been in the region of 75 plus million to go to play in Saudi Arabia, money's not a problem for him. Would he therefore be willing to sort of just push that 3 million to the side and get the move away that he wants? Type yes or no in the comments and let me know what you think. United can be festive chaos in the title race if we are consistent in our respective matches. I hope so, dude. United have really been impressive so far. I'm looking forward to what's next. But I'll be interested to know whether you think he'd be willing to push that 3 million to the side. Let's see what you're saying down here. My God, there are so many comments coming in. First of all, by the way, I think. Yeah, Gungshi, my don. Dude, I love you. Absolute ledge. Let me try and find out who the... Oh, sorry, man. I asked at the wrong time. There's so many comments flying in about Ronaldo, yes or no, that I haven't found. I can't see who Gungshi gifted 5 memberships to. But Gungshi, thank you, dude. Let me see what you're saying down here in the comments, right? And you can read them out yourself. Quite a few of you think so. Quite a few. I tell you what, that is a... Oh, I'm not sure. More of you are saying yes, I think. Oh, actually, no, quite a lot more of you are saying yes. Yes, yes, yes. I know. Imagine only 3. That'd be nice, wouldn't it? That would be very nice, wouldn't it? Wouldn't. It's 12 mil he gets, not 3. Who comes up with that? 12 mil in 6 months. He's not getting that. You might get. Maybe if you're looking at the overall like image rights, he will. And you think so? It's a split comments down there, but I would say probably 65-35. Yes, you think that he will negate on that 500 grand a week. And this, I think, is the bigger issue down here. Is this. Even as it is, January is shaping up to be a quiet month for Manchester United, and signing a replacement is not on the agenda unless the low-cost emergency solution can be found. Paying first to let Ronaldo go does not stack up from United's perspective. Oh, yeah, sorry, 500 grand a week, 2 mil a month. Yeah, my bad, actually. Sorry. Yeah, actually, I realized, I've been getting it wrong. Sorry, I've been getting my numbers wrong. Shit, that's a lot more. Fuck. 500 grand a week, 200 million a month. Yeah, that is actually my bad. That's a lot of dough. That is a lot of dough. Oh, that's made me question it. Sorry, I apologize who I laughed at in the comments there. I got my maths completely wrong. Shit. Mate, he's on stupid money. Stupid money. My God. He's on like two De Bruyne wages, isn't he? There or thereabouts. I think Alex is down here. Have you joined the gang as well? Of course he has. The two generals of the channel. Alex, thank you very much, dude. You've gifted 5 memberships. Callum Melson, you've got 1. Mesh, you've got 1. That Sensei guy. Cohen VR and Mr. Anderson. It is inevitable. I haven't actually watched New Matrix yet. But big up to you, Alex. Damn. 12 million. That's a lot. That's kind of changed my opinion on that a little bit there. I'm just tired of Ronaldo bollocks. I think that's what I'll call it. 12 million. That's a lot. That's a lot of money to say no to. I imagine maybe United comes somewhere in the middle. 6 million. It's an expensive mistake, but geez, if we're going to spend 14 million on sacking Ragnick, then we can just draw a line under this Ronaldo situation and say like 5 million. That was a mistake, and end it. And it's what this man deserves. It's what this team needs. We need Ronaldo to leave. I felt it for a long time. I felt it as soon as Ronaldo put in that transfer request in the summer. One of the big rules, and one of my personal big rules, if a player doesn't want to play for Manchester United, I don't want that player to be at Manchester United. And Cristiano Ronaldo put himself in that category in the summer, which is why my opinion of Ronaldo as a player at United changed. And nothing has changed since then. It's the evidence has only mounted further and further and further and further until this point here, where Ronaldo's refused to come on as a substitute for Ten Hag. And mate, Ten Hag must just be bored as hell of answering questions about Ronaldo. But according to The Athletic, Manchester United aren't actually looking to sign a replacement in January. It's not on the agenda, to use their words. United, this is the time where we've got to be proactive. I always use it as an example, but I do genuinely think it's the best example is Liverpool and Luis Diaz. Spurs were sniffing around Diaz, trying to sign him. They might have signed him, but Liverpool, they jumped early. They got him in January. It was a big signing, but it was a signing that was effectively 6 months early. We've got to draw a line with this Ronaldo situation. It might cost us a few million, but what is best for Manchester United as a football club is swallowing that. However, let's say Ronaldo's owed 12 million. He's not willing to just terminate his contract. Man United are not willing to pay out the 12 million. Okay, we've got to find a middle ground. Where's that middle ground? It's 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 million. I don't know how much it is. All right. But there will be a middle ground that can be found where that contract can be terminated. Ronaldo can become a free transfer and he can leave and join someone in the Champions League knockout rounds. Someone will take him on, not on 500 grand a week, mind. We've got to swallow as a football club that 3, 5, 7 million pound payoff that we're going to have to give Ronaldo, and we're just going to have to go, right, we're in a better position now as a football club. And I imagine Joel Glazer is going to be one of the big blockers for that. He really will be, because why would he want to let go of Ronaldo? Biggest name, blah, 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 but just so disconnected from what's important to, I mean, the legacy value of Manchester United as a brand and an asset, it's gone now. The only way that Manchester United holds and builds value now is by being successful again. It's been too long. It's what 2013 was our last Premier League. 2008 was the last Champions League. You're starting to get towards that age now, where there's a generation growing up of kids, and they're like, "Who are United?" They're just like this bang average team. Genuinely, that because that is what they have seen in front of themselves. We've got to change, and swallowing that payoff for Ronaldo would definitely be in the best interest of the football club, the best interest for Erik ten Hag, and therefore the smartest decision. Now, let's see what happens during the World Cup. If Ronaldo puts in an absolute stormer, might kind of makes it easier for him to find a club. If Ronaldo puts in an absolute poopy stinker, might make it even more difficult. What are you all saying down here in the comments? Benfica, of course, have got Gonzalo Lopez, who we've been linked with. No doubt we'll be linked with him again. And you know full well that during the World Cup, I'm going to be doing quite a few. I'm going to take the World Cup and treat it like a transfer window here on United People's TV. I'm going to be doing scout reports, going to be doing full stories, going to be taking a look and profiling players that we can see at the World Cup. Maybe there's going to be some gems and go, wow, he looks good. What about him in this Manchester United team? We'll take a look at tactical looks of how we could set up with a new site, X, Y, Z. Because the World Cup's going on. We can't talk about the club, but I think we can approach the World Cup as a window before the window. January opens, straight after the World Cup ends. You may as well try and use it as a positive. 40 million for Gakpo might still fly. Look, I don't think you're wrong there. And again, I think that's down towards the release clause he's got in his contract. Oh, look, the camera fixed itself, by the way. Jeez. Dylan saying, can't wait for the World Cup. I could. I would rather we could continue playing football. I don't want it to stop. Alex, you're saying if we get Ronaldo off the wage bill in January, surely we can bring a replacement on loan, if not a permanent signing. It absolutely should be the case. But as it's down there, quote unquote, low cost emergency solution. That's what Man United have been doing in January transfer windows for so long. Odion Igalo is going to be the one that screams out to everybody, but there are other ones that I can't remember off the top of my head. But we've had so many over-the-hill strikers. And I just want United to be proactive. Look, United have actually made, over the last 18 months, United have surprised me in a good way. In bringing Ralph Rangnick in, I thought that was a smart call. In appointing Erik ten Hag, I thought that was the best call. In the signings that we made, wow, we overpaid a lot of them. Yes, we needed to clean up that process, absolutely. But I thought we made good signings this summer. Now we need Manchester United in an ideal situation to find a solution with Ronaldo where he leaves in January. However much that costs. Find that middle ground, negotiate that, get the legal teams involved and sort that out. And then use the wages from Ronaldo. You don't even need to use all of them. 500 grand a week. You could use, Gakpo would come on, I don't know, 70, 60, 70 grand a week. And that's a lot for him, considering what he's got now. That's what we need to do in January. That is what is best for our football club. And therefore, that is the agenda that I am going to be pushing. And it's no agenda against Ronaldo. Anybody, and as I said, I'm not going to explain it anymore. If you're not here long enough to know that my agenda is only for Manchester United, then, well, just scoot on off, because I can't be bothered to explain it anymore. Harry Potter couldn't do better than what Ten Hag's doing. Wingardium Leviosa. I love Harry Potter. Big up Harry Potter. Look, let's see what else you're saying down here in the comments. Oh, people are talking about Brazilian League. So the Brazilian League. Big up to Marcus Rojo. The absolute mad hatter. Boca Juniors won the Argentinian title at the weekend. And Marcus Rojo is now a champion. I think he's actually done his cruciate ligament again. I think he's done his knee again. But big up to Marcus Rojo. Imagine we have Rojo in this team now. Jeez. It still makes me laugh. I think it's one of my favorite ever United stats is that Juan Mata's got more red cards for Manchester United than Marcus Rojo. Honestly, that stat will never not make me laugh. How he didn't get a red card, I have no idea. Remember that period where he was just throwing in like two-footed wild lunges like every single game and he still wouldn't get a red card. But look, congratulations to Marcus Rojo for that. He was absolutely bonkers, wasn't he? Sianda, you're saying watch out for that boy Endrick from Palmeiras. I think that's a teenager. I've seen him about. Well, I've seen people talking about him. Haven't really watched him much myself. Enzo Fernandez is one I'm definitely looking out for. Obviously, he moved from River Plate this summer to Benfica. I imagine he's going to be one to watch with Argentina at the World Cup, and I'm really looking forward to watching Argentina at the World Cup. Would you say United has already defied expectations this season? I think that's going a bit strong. I wouldn't say it's defying expectations. I would say it's just, I think United are a little bit further down the process than we expected us to be at this stage. If all of our predictions of, and we spoke about it a couple of weeks ago, I said, look, if 0 is no progress at all and 100 is perfect, how far along the line do you think we are with Ten Hag? And we all sort of agreed we're some like 20, 25% of the way along. I think that's now gone. I think that's taken quite a big leap from that point. Feels like it's taken a 10, 15% leap over the last 10 days with the games that we've had and the performances we've shown. And I think that's what surprised us all. I didn't expect to see that level of performance against Spurs over a full 90-minute period until towards the end of the season. It really, really was good. Elliot, of course, he will become more expensive after the World Cup. But if you're PSV, that's why you hold out. But again, I need to drop him an email, actually. I'll drop him an email after this. Rick Elfrink, who works for PSV Daily, Eindhoven Daily, to find out if he's still got that release clause in his contract, because I don't know. I think we are 6 months on from where I thought we'd be, says Ant. I don't know if it's 6 months. I can't put a timeline on it, but it's certainly, we're better than I thought we would be at this point. And that's what I mean. United, it isn't a case of just blindly giving a manager X amount of money and saying, oh, we need more signings. It's like, it's obvious what is needed in January. Create the conditions where Ronaldo can leave our football club to create a better, harmonious squad for this man here. Someone who's not going to get undermined by the biggest ego in world football. And as I've said before, that ego is what's driven him to this point, but it's also his ego at this point, which is driving him out of the club. Get Ten Hag the structure. And that's what I mean about supporting a manager. It's not just about blindly giving him loads of money. It's about identifying what is right and what's wrong. And if you can sort of cut out what's wrong and help him, then boom, go for it. Find a solution to the Ronaldo situation. Allow him to leave in January. And in an ideal situation, accelerate plans for the summer, bring in that striker in January, and give United what we need to finish in the top 4 this year. Because I think my expectations of where we're going to finish in the Premier League have changed over the last 10 days. I think top 4 top 4 was always the marker. But my prediction going into the season was 5th. Because I thought we would have just felt a little bit short. I thought we'd just fall shy in terms of the quality at the crucial moments. I don't think I would say that now. I think United really are looking like top 4 contenders. Absolutely are. And that's what I mean. I think that's why my opinions sort of changed and accelerated forward a little bit. Carl's saying that, how are you not discussing McTominay? I did discuss McTominay in the match reaction. Fair enough. Look, I'll tell you what, the annoying thing about the McTominay situation and that penalty, first of all, McTominay, dude, right? He's not watching, but I'll speak to him as if he is. Control that aggression. The aggression is clearly a huge part of your game. You're 6 foot, 2, 3, physically very powerful player who gets booked every week. Stop it. All McTominay's got to do is look at this man and learn from him. Learn from Casemiro in how to play the game. Because it is a game. Do those little tackles when the ref's not looking. Elbows out when the refs turn the other way. McTominay just gets caught. That's what he needs to improve on. Don't get caught committing fouls on the pitch. He's got to understand the snideness. But when it comes to that McTominay situation, there was a situation yesterday in the Arsenal game where all over him. Both of them were definitely penalties. Both of them were definitely penalties. But the consistency, it drives you mad. Every single week, there's 2 contrasting decisions, and it's absolutely bonkers. It's absolutely bonkers. Vicky's down there in the comments saying, fair enough. Yeah, guys, the reason that I say don't use caps is because you don't need to shout. If you put your comment in caps, it shows me that you think your comment is so important that I have to read yours ahead of everybody else's, which therefore makes me go, you know what, sod you, I'm not reading it, and I never will. So you're wasting your time. Don't do it in caps. I won't read it. What we all saying down here? It was dumb. It was very stupid. So what it means, McTominay's got to learn the game, and I tell you what, he's got a master of it alongside him, a sensei. Couldn't ask for anybody better to be in a squad with than Casemiro. It should make McTominay a better player across the course of the season. It certainly brought out a new side to him that we didn't think was capable, a new ceiling. But McTominay, man, these yellow cards, they're stupid. So many of them are stupid. Learn how to do it. Learn how to control that, because if you don't, it will take control of you. Look, I enjoyed that show today. Actually, no, quickly there. No, but don't just mention that. I enjoyed that show today. I enjoyed that show at the weekend. I enjoyed this United team here that's got something a bit different about them. Something a little bit different about them. That's the way I would describe this United team going forward. We've got Sheriff on Thursday. Then I think, is it West Ham on Sunday? Let me check there. I'm guessing it is West Ham on Sunday because it's Thursday, Sunday. Let me check. So, yeah, we've got 8 p.m. on Thursday against Sheriff, and then 4:15 on Sunday, West Ham at home. And West Ham are reeling at the moment. Come on. I think someone down here, is it Suman? Let's have a look down here in the comments. Don't want to miss this. Absolutely. Suman, you've gifted 5 memberships. Legend of the channel, man. Thank you very much. Let me go up there and find the 5 that the 5 lucky ladies and gents today are John Moulton, Byrne Mayo, Walter Waruta, Elliot O'Brien. Look at that. You got one as well. Is there one more? No, 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, it's 5. Congrats to all of you. John, you're asking whether I'm going to the game. I won't be going to that game, no. And Bernie's saying, hey, cheers for the gift. Much love to this. First time catching a live stream, and you get a free membership. Wow. But remember, it's only for 1 month. Anybody who does, honestly, I keep saying it. It is the greatest compliment that anybody could ever give me, the fact that you're willing to buy memberships for other people. That's how much you're enjoying the community. And genuinely, I think I've heard over the years about communities on YouTube and XYZ. I'm now witnessing like the power of a genuine community. It's wicked. The merchandise, lots of you have been asking me for updates on them. Man, I cannot wait. I cannot wait to bring out all of it, especially this bad boy. Let me pull up this. You've already seen it before, but I'm going to put it on screen now because it's, I suppose you kind of know that by now with me is I take a lot of pride in the work I do. And I think it's kind of something that drives me forward is I won't do something if I'm not proud of it. And I'm really proud of everything that's going on with the community, everything that's been built. And I said, look, I've been working behind the scenes on the merch for a long time. I could have released it months ago, but I've been wanting to get it right. I want to bring something that is a step above everything that's currently out there. And this is one of the designs that I will be launching with. That isn't the full design, right? This is half of the design. That's a little teaser. You haven't seen the bigger part of the design yet, but this is part of it. I'm really looking forward to releasing it. Members, of course, you're all going to get a big discount on it. That's going to be part of the membership, a perk of the membership. It's just I haven't been able to release the merchandise just yet, but I'm very much looking forward to finally releasing it. And yeah, my video that's going out today is going to be a good one, right? The video that goes out today is going to be on Ten Hag, this new connection that it feels that we've got with this team, how it feels like we've kind of leapt forward 10-15% in terms of the progress. I'm going to cover all of it in a video this lunchtime. Then tomorrow, what is it? I've already got videos lined up for this week. It's going to be a cracker. Don't you worry about that. But look, thank you very much to everybody who joined in this morning. I loved it. Thank you very much to everybody who gifted memberships. Oh. Let's see what goes on next. But I didn't expect by the 24th of October, 11 games in, to feel this assured about how United are playing football and the game that's coming next. And that is the biggest compliment I can give to Ten Hag so far. Take it easy. Thank you all for joining in, and I'll see you tomorrow. My camera works now, though, which is nice.